It is an epic. It is an epic. We're a day early because it's better to be a day early than a day late, America.
True.
It is a tip 'em back Tuesday. The redoubtable one who is heading on a mini vacation down to my mother's neck of the woods, which is part of the reason why we're here tonight. The Law Dog and the Hizzy. I love that he's sporting the Red Wings jersey. We got Bergeron back there. So yes, there is hockey in the air, America, because it's also hockey season. Much to the chagrin of one Thomas J. Izzo. But also the highly questioned one here. We're going to start segment one with the NFL. We're going to start with the bad, the ugly, and then the good.
So we're just going to talk about the Dolphins?
There's good in there. So
There it is.
we do have to talk about the first place New England Patriots because that was sudden. But we'll get to that. But here's the thing.
Thanks, Atlanta.
Here's the thing. Atlanta's not a bad football team. Carolina is also now 3-3, and they just walloped Dallas. But hey, everybody wallops Dallas these days. But I want to start with the Miami. Want to start with the Miami Dolphins because forget the loss for a second. The press conference, Tua came out, and I get what he was trying to do, but here's the problem. You can't throw 3 interceptions in a game, and again, they weren't all his fault. Again,
For sure.
but the point is, if you're going to call out your teammates, you better be throwing for 350 and 4 touchdowns and not have a blemish on your radar. Because if you don't do that, there's going to be smoke in the locker room. There's going to be division. And the only thing that Tua did, I fear, is he divided a locker room. And the last thing a 1-5 team needs is a divided locker room. Now, the coach, who I keep telling everybody is an offensive coordinator and not a head coach, isn't doing himself any favors because he didn't handle this well either. He proved it, basically.
Yep.
And I've been saying that forever, but he just eliminated all doubt with what his response. But he is the resident Dolphins fan on this set. You watched that game, another game they could have won, because here's
I've watched the last two in their entirety.
They could have won both of these. The bottom line,
Same game.
Yeah, but Tua did, in spite of himself, mistakes, he did take him down the field. He did get them ahead with less than a minute to go. And in that damn defense, which you have been harping on, he's been on top of this from the jump. And he needs his flowers for that because the defense has cost them twice now in the last 2 weeks, as far as I'm concerned.
How about that defense?
Yeah.
Flowers.
So again, I don't know, but if it wasn't for the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens, these guys would be the toast of the town when it comes to who doesn't play defense in this
Yeah.
league. But you saw those press conferences. I wanted your take on this. Is this season over for them?
Oh yeah. It's.
There's 11 games to go. Is it over?
Yeah. Now last year, this kind of, if you remember, the season started off kind of similar, where they finished on a run and finished 8-9, but it's like too little, too late. They're 1-5, and they've beaten nobody. They've beaten the Jets, and they've let 2 games slip away.
The Jets should have won that game.
Yeah, and they let 2 games slip away, right? Yep. That they took the lead with under 2 minutes to play, right? And they're blame their defense, right? Yeah,
their defense can't get a stop.
I don't know. Like I thought there was a lot. I thought it was a big deal made about. It would have been one thing if you'd have called out specific guys, but I thought he was just kind of being generous.
I thought he called out McDaniel.
This sounded more of an indictment.
Yeah,
to me, he said it's about the leadership.
Yeah, but he was talking about like the players-only meetings and stuff.
But I think
you think he was trying to get McDaniel?
I thought it came out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Shit."
Yeah.
Because he said it's about the leadership, and it felt directed at McDaniel. And then he started going.
He backpedaled.
But then he didn't really backpedal because then he started talking about what players are doing and the fact that they're not being held accountable. Because he was like, we got guys showing up late to players-only meetings, not coming to players-only meetings, and then he said, do we need to make this mandatory? Almost like, I can't force these motherfuckers to do anything.
Yeah. So you're almost, I don't know if you know if it's McDaniel, it's the whole staff.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like leadership ain't doing shit about it. So, to me, it was an indictment on the culture right now.
Yeah.
You know, whichever way you look at it, that's how it came across.
And losing never helps, right?
No,
it never helps. So, the last 2 games, and I get it, you're right after a loss. That was a tough one. I mean, it only took 2 plays.
Yeah.
The special teams ran it back.
It was too easy.
Yeah, the return was like a 40-yard.
And then one bubble screen to McCarthy.
Dicker the kicker.
Well, no, that was actually a really great play by Herbert.
It was an awesome play.
I mean,
I give
had
him
him
credit.
in the grass,
They don't tackle for shit.
I mean,
you guys, man, I don't know who's worse, you or Buffalo right now in terms of tackling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he throws a D lineman off of him. Now, obviously a D lineman should never get thrown, but it happens.
Sure.
And Herbert's a big fuck.
Yeah.
And he hits McConkey. It was a great play that did it.
Yeah.
But one of
hate.
those you did just enough to not get that sack. Like that sack might have won the game for him.
That was a backbreaker, and I remember I picked them last week because I thought, all right, they got to respond. Their back's against the wall. It's legit. It's really their season, and now they're playing the Browns this week. Yeah, they got a good defense. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're gonna. That could be a Jets.
Well, the
Broncos game could be a 13.
Well, the good news for you is the Broncos can't score in a 400 with a fistful of 100.
Or Browns.
So,
Right.
So
Yeah,
the Browns, they're not very good offense.
No.
So you're going to be in the game.
Yeah.
You will be in the game.
Yeah.
Unless Shador comes in.
Right.
Well, that's another topic.
that's
we
another-
will cut. We will,
Shador comes in, I think the Browns will be better.
that's
But
a
I wasn't-
topic unlike the Dolphins, we will tackle.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a Hail Mary by Tua. Like, hey man, we got to do something. We got to
It
have
was
some
a desperate
accountability.
act.
It's a desperate act.
A
and
desperate
it's
act
like,
of a desperate man on a desperate team.
right. What can we do? Like, what else can we do?
answers.
Like, we're losing these games that we should be winning. But
They've been
it's a
in
wrap.
most games.
You know, what I mean, what is
So-
what is football? Like, just at its core, blocking, tackling, controlling the line of scrimmage, being able to run the football. Like, those are what you start with, right? They can't run the football vertically, right? They haven't proven they can do that. Their offensive line can't block, so Tua has to get rid of it.
running wise though, they had a good.
They didn't have a bad game, right? But that's not every game. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
H.N. had like a couple breakouts too.
Sure,
Like,
sure,
probably
and that
wasn't-
helps.
Yeah.
And that helps. Waddle. I mean, honestly, I'm really impressed with the pass game. Like, that hasn't fallen off like it should have when you lose a guy like Tyreek Hill. Like, I feel
They
like
added Waller.
Waller is a
Who-
tall tight end, basically a receiver. He's
Waller
been
is a very
great.
frustrating
Yeah.
individual because he is a Pro Bowl talent with a 5-cent head.
Yeah.
But when he's on the field, he's dangerous.
He's a beast.
He's dangerous. He's a threat. He can catch the ball. He gets open. He's big.
Yeah.
And he's fast.
And I wasn't real big on that either because I thought they kind of like catered to Arthur Smith when they traded Jonnu Smith. They said, hey, well, you played for him before. We're just going to get rid of him and then we'll take Waller. And I was like, but Waller hasn't played. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Like,
It looked like he hasn't
it was
played.
almost like they were making moves that winning teams don't make, right? So yeah, I think at this point, if I had to tell you how it's going to play out, I would think that they'd let McDaniel, because they're not going to re-sign him, right? So
Well, what if, again, you said the season is over. Now, I don't know Miami's strength of schedule, but if he gets to...
it's not hard, but I mean they've lost.
They've already lost games.
They've already lost games.
Yeah,
They should have
I
beat
mean,
Carolina.
skills.
I said when
Yeah.
the season started, he had to make the
They should have won
playoffs.
that game.
They should have absolutely won. They should be 3-3.
They should be 3-3.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say 3 and 3 is realistic.
yeah, it's
But
realistic.
I would say that, well, what I did say was when the season started that to save his job, barring major injury,
Yep.
I would say Tyreek Hill is a major injury. But, so, the thing is,
But if the passing game falls off, then you got a better excuse. But it has.
well, you just lost your best weapon, arguably. So,
Yeah.
I said before the season, barring major injury, he had to get to the playoffs and win a game. I don't see them getting to the playoffs.
Nope. Or win the division, what they're not going to
He's
do.
not, he's not
No.
winning the
Yep.
division.
If you won the division and you lost a playoff game, you could at least hang your hat on
But-
that. You know what I mean?
Dude, and that response in the press conference, that was pitiful.
That was
That
not
was
the response
pitiful.
of a head coach.
Yep.
And
And
I
that-
think it's because he knew it was about him. That's how he acted. He was kind of like, well, I'm sure
He's misguided or whatever.
he's
Yeah.
talking about, players and, they asked, like, have you had a problem getting people to do what you asked them to do? I think they asked something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I mean, everybody has come through when I've asked them to come through, and I'm sure that they'll come through for, like, it was
It was bad. He didn't know
pathetic.
what
like,
to say.
It was
it
cringeworthy
It
listening
really
to it.
was.
If they wanted to
It's
get rid of
like-
McDaniel, like let's say they lose to the Browns this weekend, you could theoretically get rid of McDaniel and promote, and you could put Darrell Bevel as the head coach, the interim
Who's
head
that?
coach. Darrell Bevel's their quarterbacks coach.
Okay.
He's been the coach of Jaguars. He was the offensive coordinator for Detroit when Goff got there. Bevel's been around the league for a long time. He was also the offensive coordinator in Seattle when they won the Super Bowl. So Darrell Bevel, you got a guy on the bench that could theoretically take over the team and maybe.
Well, let me ask you this: is he
Yeah.
coaching for his job this weekend?
I think so. I think
Against the Browns?
against the
lose that
Browns, they
game.
lose that game,
Yeah.
1-6. Like that's a wrap. It'll make my November 30th tickets against the Saints really cheap. But and I'll probably want to buy them ASAP because it's not like I'm not going to go to the game if I'm in Miami. But yeah, that's and I think it. I don't know if Bevel gets the job at the end of the season. I think they probably got to go out.
They search.
There's 3 names that are already that are interesting to me. I just don't believe any of them, but the 3 that I've heard are Gruden was one, which would be if you want the antithesis of Mike McDaniel, you get a guy like Gruden to come in there.
If you want to go from one
extreme
to the other, yes.
Yeah.
And there was
Gruden
Nick
is your
Saban.
man.
I don't know that Nick Saban is
Nick Saban's not coaching.
want to come back and coach because
Nick Saban's retired.
he's retired. He's got enough money.
He's got a cushy job on
he
the
likes
number 1
yeah.
college football program show in America. He loves it.
But I said the same thing
Loves
about Urban
that
Meyer,
show.
Michigan State.
But Urban
Didn't
Meyer
put up enough
didn't
money.
have 7 national championships.
Right, that's true.
Nick Saban
Yep.
can do nothing but
And he's kind of
hurt his legacy. He's the greatest
woven
college
in.
coach of all time.
Yeah, and
he's got nothing to prove.
And Urban is in that. He's woven into the Buckeyes program so hard that. But there has been multiple reports that Michigan State was very close to getting him. But I don't see Nick Saban coming. And then there was a third. Who was the third? Because I was like,
Bill Belichick?
no.
If Jackson Dart,
I saw somebody mess around.
If
and say that,
Jackson
but I don't
Dart
believe
has a
that.
good year, Kafka will be getting looks. Unfortunately for you,
Oh yeah.
he's our
Talking
offensive
about Brad
coordinator.
Kafka?
No, it's not Brad.
I can't think of his first name.
Fuck, now that you said Brad, I can't think of.
You know who Brad's mom is in real life, right?
I don't know who Brad Kafka is.
Brad Kafka was the quarterback at Miami, University of Miami,
Okay.
for a little while. Light-skinned dude. He
No, this
got
Kafka's white.
okay, yeah. He got drafted by the Lions, but then he got waived. But his mom is Angela Means, otherwise known as Felicia from Friday. That's his mom.
Ba Felicia?
Bye, Felicia. Yeah.
All right, so you think
So I'm trying to think who the other coach was. Now that's going to bug me.
the bottom
We'll get
line
out
is
before the
you
second.
think that if Miami loses this game, this guy's fired next month
Yeah, because you could easily move Darryl Bevel into that role
as an interim.
as an
Yeah.
interim coach. That's easy.
Mike Kafka is the Giants.
Mike Kafka.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up because I saw the other coach. I was like, okay, I could see that maybe. But it's not good. You know, it's not a good situation.
Yeah.
And it's
Switching
not
from-
It's not James Franklin. Don't
Dude,
get
but
excited.
I would also say this, okay? I mean, I know we shit on the defense, but like, when you get a lead and leave 2 minutes left or whatever it was, or a minute left for a top 10 quarterback,
Yep.
they usually can come down and kick a field goal.
Yes, that's not hard.
I don't.
It happens all the time. I
I'm
feel
saying that this was a team loss because 3 turnovers. is
Yeah,
3
it
turnovers.
was.
However, they happened, and I don't think
Oh my
all
god,
of them-
dude! After he said that, I looked at that first one.
Yeah.
The guy literally caught it.
Fine.
And
Turn
just
around.
laid it. That's what I was like-
Yeah, that's not on.
So-
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Again,
guy,
it's-
6:35 in the morning's already on me. I'm like waking up like, what the fuck, man? Like, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it
I
to him.
was
'cause-
not trying to get.
No, I know
on
you are. I know
that
you're a
fair.
good guy.
But no,
but
so
there's
here's
been a lot of lazy journalism this week. Where he had 3 interceptions. Like, yeah,
You didn't look at it.
So here's
You
the
didn't
thing.
look at him,
I
like-
felt bad after that because you don't seem like somebody that gets that pissed off about shit. So like I would have known not to send that to RJ. Now RJ wouldn't have known not to send it to me, or he would have not cared.
Oh, if you sent him about the Patriots, he's coming to your
But
house.
like
banging
if
on
I
your
had
door.
gotten it, like
I didn't do that.
dude, after you said that, I thought about it and I was like, damn, if the Giants had just shot on themselves.
and I would have been
And
6:30 in the
Lund
morning.
started off in the morning was like blah 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 about the
I was like,
Giants.
geez.
I'd have been like, that son of a.
There's actually 2 other ones that I saw. Mike McCarthy was the third that there was rumors about that they would say we take Mike McCarthy, you know, and Cliff Kingsbury
Well,
was another candidate as well.
Mike McCarthy
Go-
with
go-
without
Yeah,
the.
I mean he's done well in Washington as an
He's a
coordinator,
coordinator.
but he's probably another version of Mike
He's
McDaniel.
literally Mike McDaniel.
He's literally a better version maybe of Mike McDaniel. I don't know.
So personality wise, he's worse.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
He's kind of smug.
He's just like
You need-
unemotional.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
A head coach has got to have a presence,
yeah.
and
I agree.
It can't be that of a librarian,
We were talking about that in
which
college.
is your current coach.
Yeah. Right.
So
Well, I feel like he's more of like a Gen Z.
Right.
Like I want to be the cool kid in the crowd.
he's not though.
No, but
He's
he
anything
he's,
but the
he's
cool kid.
trying
In fact, he's the dork of dorks.
for sure.
Because the
for
more he
sure.
tries to sound deep and he's
Insightful.
insightful, he just comes off as the kid that got picked last.
It's like in college. We've been
That's
having
what he comes off as.
We've been having these conversations
It's like,
about
and these grown men are going, "This is our leader."
you know
And they're football players.
Yeah.
That's what I can tell you right now what they're thinking because they're like, this is our leader.
I agree with what you're saying about the presence. That's what I was getting to that
doesn't
point.
have a presence at all.
You got to have a presence in the NFL as a head coach. Whereas in college, I feel like you need a presence, but I think the head coach in college now has to be like a master recruiter and you have coaches around you. Yeah. Like we were talking about Franklin getting fired, and then
we'll talk about that because I predicted it on this set.
Yeah.
The bottom line is this: look at I think you're right. I think he is coaching for his job. Mm-hmm. I think they can win this weekend because Cleveland is a mess too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're as bad a mess as these guys are.
Oh yeah.
And when push comes to shove,
they're worse.
Cleveland has a better defense. Cleveland has an elite defense,
mm-hmm.
but their offense,
terrible.
It's anemic.
Charles Barkley,
terrible. It is anemic. So
Charles Barkley,
terrible. That's the word terrible.
No, but to answer your question, I think their season. I mean, look, we weren't expecting big things out of them anyway. With 10-7, maybe they win a playoff game.
10-7, they're in the playoff.
Yeah, but
and if you look at the way the AFC is currently shaped up, the AFC.
You think they
get
to 10-7?
No, that was when we started the season.
That was his prediction when the season started.
But Chris Greer, you got to go up another level too, and you got to say if you're going to get rid of Mike McDaniel, you got to think about getting rid of Chris Greer at the end of the season because he's had 10 years there and he's never won a playoff game.
GM,
whoever your next coach is, the GM and him got to be in sync.
100%.
Whoever they bring in, they got to ask him, who do you want for a GM? Who works well with you? Because again, normal protocol is hire the GM first, then the coach. However, if this goes down the way it might go down Sunday, they're going to fire the coach first, okay, before the GM gets canned. So going from the ugly to the bad, the Detroit Lions went to Kansas City this weekend, and
hold on. Before you go on, I just got to read this Larry Zonka quote that I saved for this segment.
Oh, Larry Zonka.
Because I think it sums it up perfectly. He says, "Don't know what to say. I keep watching, hoping I see talent and even some moments of good execution, but we're inconsistent, which boils down to rehearsal. I can hear Coach Shula repeating, we don't practice until we get it right. We practice till we can't get it wrong."
That's my line.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you said it before Larry Zonka.
Look for Shula.
I never heard John Shula say that line before. I don't know.
Don Shula. But that to me was when I read that, I go, yeah, that's pretty much sums it up.
So switching from the ugly to the bad, the Detroit Lions were bad.
This is what happens when you have two teams.
Were bad.
Oh, I got stuff for this too.
And I don't know how. Look, the Chiefs still have a very good defense.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is how the Lions, who were dropping 35 plus on everybody, suddenly had a hard time getting to 17. Because the Chiefs ain't that dominant. They're not. I mean, they're 3-3. They were 2-3 coming into the game. Mm-hmm. So, and the Lions have a prolific offense. So I don't know how it is that. And again, I didn't see the whole game. I passed out when the Lions were actually up 10-6. I woke up. They were down 30-17.
All right.
So I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck that happened.
I watched the entire game. I can tell you.
But I know that the Chiefs got back their burners on the outside, so they have receivers now. I know the Lions secondary is once again banged up.
Big time.
Big
and
time.
Brian Branch is going to be suspended for this week too.
This could have been a perfect storm scenario where the Chiefs caught these guys at the right time. That's entirely possible given who their quarterback is. So that's part of it. However, at the end of that game, there was what would you call it?
Brian Branch.
Melee, a Donnybrook, and I saw Mahomes taunting said defense, then going over trying to and
shake his hand.
These Mahomes fucking ass kissers going, yeah, he's being tough, and then he's going over and he's demanding you shake my hand. I'm like, actually, he's being a classless ass clown. Because honestly, if you have 3 rings, act like you've been there, donkey. Like you're 2-3 coming into the game. You don't sit there and start mouthing off when you're looking up at 2 teams in your division. And honestly, if that secondary is as banged up as it sounds like it was, you might have just got lucky.
They didn't throw only threw one deep pass the whole game. It was all dink and dunk the whole game. So like the way that it was set up at the beginning of the game, and mind you, I'm sitting there going, did not expect Detroit to win that game at all. Not an Arrowhead. I just know how this goes, right?
They won their last year.
And they didn't have Kelsey, and they won by 1 point.
Kelsey is
right?
a shell of himself.
Well, he caught 6 balls last game. I mean,
your secondary was banged up.
Yeah, but again, dink and dunk, there was nothing that went far. Like, that was the thing. So they set it up like.
Hold on. You can, wait a minute, back up. You can dink and dunk. The secondary still has to cover those people at the line of scrimmage. Dinking and dunking doesn't absolve the secondary of shit. Let's be very clear about something. I'm pretty sure there were cornerbacks manned up on receivers. That's the secondary.
Yeah,
secondary wasn't 15 yards downfield going dink and dunk. No, that's not what happened.
But the way they made it sound at the beginning of the game, because if you didn't watch the game, they did a graphic and they were like, all these guys are out. Basically, it was like safeties and cornerbacks.
I'm saying,
and
could have very well just been they caught him at the right time.
Yeah, right. So I was like, oh, they're already setting this up. But it didn't really play out like that. It was. I can tell you exactly what happened. So the Lions go down, and you guys probably on the replay saw the fourth down, they go for it.
I was watching it.
And Goff goes out.
They ran the trick play.
They ran the trick play. It's a touchdown. There's no flag thrown. And then they have this conference and say, wait, actually, he wasn't set. And they call it back. And then they throw a flag. So that was a very Kansas City era.
Yeah, see, here's what, but yeah, this is my thing. And I saw this replay. You and I were talking about it on the street the other day. I saw it after I spoke with you. Because you were describing it to me. Here's the problem with this. You can't, at least to my knowledge, after the play is over, decide we should throw a flag because we missed it. The play's over. Now,
Yes.
why is it that when the players do this, they don't get a do-over, but the refs do when the play is already over?
Yeah, so that was
The
like,
refs fucked
here
it up.
we
If
go.
it say it's true,
No, but that happens on certain calls.
but it shouldn't.
Illegal formations, it happens on grounding.
Once the play is over, you can't just go back. And
They
go,
do it all the
"Oops,"
time.
but they shouldn't.
No, but there are certain plays that they're allowed to do that on.
So that one was like a real unique
Like say
situation.
touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs, for example.
No. Like,
Because I haven't seen too many other
it happened
times.
to Jaden Daniels last night. He fucking airmailed a throw, no flag. The refs come together. They say, yeah, there was nobody over there. And then boom, the ref walks up and goes like this. That does happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was fishy because, first of all, I think it was illegal. But I thought it was fishy because they scored the touchdown. They brought in the expert immediately. They were like, what'd you think about that play? And he goes, that should be illegal motion.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they were having a conference. That makes me think like they're using the replay assist.
They also brought in
to
the
make
expert
calls.
to say this was a catch. Remember that play? And the
I
expert
didn't
was
see
like,
that play.
so that was called a catch. And there was
That
no
does not
replay
look
on
like
it.
a catch.
Wait, is
Definitely
that
was
the
a catch.
same over the hill Travis Kelce I was referring to?
Yes.
So in other words, you should have 5.
So you should have 5 catches. So then they brought the expert on to explain why that was a catch.
Because as long as it hits the ground, it doesn't move. But did it not move?
Yeah, it was all over the place. It was like didn't even look like a catch. Yeah. Like,
The way he has the top of the ball just makes me think, like,
Oh, dude.
that's not a catch.
so that initially happened. So they kick a field goal. Kansas City takes it down.
It was a big play.
Butker shanks the extra point. They come down to score. Now, it wasn't like it didn't ruin it, but that was deflating.
Well, yeah,
at
because
first.
you guys had a touchdown drive
We
right
walked
after.
right down the field.
Yeah.
Right down the field. And it wasn't even that. I thought it was pretty awesome. They almost took 10 minutes in that first drive. So they controlled everything. So that hurt.
But after that, you couldn't run the ball.
Magically couldn't run the ball after that.
Gibbs was good that drive.
98 yards
Yep.
rushing for the Detroit Lions.
Or was it Montgomery, that drive?
The point
Both
is
of them.
that while these refs were suspicious, and I agree they were,
Yep.
I understand how Kansas City held that offense to 98 yards rushing, given that Amon-Ra St. Brown and that tight end and the other guy are running around.
He also had a drop on 4th down that was pretty big as well.
They stopped 2 4th downs.
Yeah, and he doesn't typically drop passes like that.
No, he doesn't.
So that was kind of random too. So it was like those two things.
Would you like to hear the AI overview answer for why?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
The Kansas City Chiefs slowed down the Lions' top-scoring offense by containing their ground game, winning the physicality battle, and frustrating them in key moments.
That is all true.
The defensive effort was especially strong in the second half, allowing the Chiefs to pull away for a 30-17 victory.
There it is. So
Accurate.
let me ask you
Not
this:
very detailed.
was this a hiccup, or was this for?
Yeah, I mean, they were even saying the announcers were like, "I still think these two teams could be in the Super Bowl
No,
facing each
I
other."
can
And I was
guarantee.
like,
I can
don't know
guarantee
about
you
that.
one of them is not going to be them,
Right.
and it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs who are not there.
They get Rasheed Rice back soon, I think.
This is the thing.
That helps
They're
them.
going to
Yeah,
have a
that
hard
does.
time. They're going to be a wild card team. They're not going to catch. I can't see them beating Denver even.
Yeah,
And
and And you get the Chargers in the mix too.
And the Chargers are not going away. The problem is that their division is not a cakewalk anymore. And yes, these receivers coming back will help them. But at the end of the day, okay, they're still behind these other two teams in terms of overall talent. They are. And the other thing is, these two teams are not afraid of them anymore either. So the intimidation factor is gone.
Dude, you almost never see Pacheco.
He was
running like a madman the other night. He was on fire, yeah. Since 2000, there have been 12 games where a team has had 0 penalties. In the last 7 seasons, Kansas City has had 4 of those games.
Well, good.
There were 12 to 17 no calls against KC after Sports Illustrated ran a review of last night's game.
12 to 17 no calls.
Yeah, there are probably a few in there were
suspicious.
So-called.
What they're trying to say is that they're the NFL's marquee franchise, and it's good for the league that they're on TV, and they're not going to be on TV if they're not winning. So that's what that translation is, assuming that is all, assuming that what he just read is all accurate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying.
51 yards.
So
penalties. So
no, Pacheco ran for 51 yards.
That's what I just said.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Season high for him.
Did he catch?
I wouldn't say that's rushing all over them.
No.
Yeah.
I say around all over.
I just feel like their run game is.
I felt like that he was
like
just busting through the line
it's
a lot.
It's an afterthought. Like sometimes Kareem Hunt gets more play.
Oh, Kareem Hunt had some nice. He had some nice plays too. Yeah.
So, look, I agree. I think with Detroit, they're going to get their secondary back at some point. They are in a very, very, very tough division. I would say the toughest in all football. They're not going to have a lot of margin for error here going forward. But that'll battle test them for the playoffs.
They got the new GOAT and the best team in the NFL this week on Monday night.
Say that Monday night doubleheader last night was one of the best doubleheaders we've had ever.
It was.
it
Usually one of
was
those
a Vegas special. The two teams you would have never expected to win.
Right, they both won.
Yeah.
Well, Atlanta isn't a bad football team.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
And they have a defense. The whole off season was about getting defense.
Did we all pick Buffalo?
We all had Buffalo because the Patriots had just beaten them. We're like, well, I got to lose 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's
but here's the problem.
Also, I thought Buffalo was much better than Atlanta. And last night showed that's not true.
Pats are 4-2 as well.
Yep, Pats are in first place right now because they beat Buffalo head to head. So here's the thing. We'll end the segment with this. The New England Patriots. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say that they're back, but they're trending in that direction.
They're on the way.
The quarterback is playing at an MVP level. If it wasn't for Baker Mayfield, I would argue he's the favorite for it because I think Baker Mayfield is. And if you doubt that, go watch what he just did this weekend. And he's doing it with his 4th and 5th receivers. This is the other thing.
Albeit Emeka Egbuka is not, he could easily be a number 2 or
he got knocked out of the game.
Did he really?
He won that game without him.
Oh my God.
He got knocked out.
Young kid.
Yeah. He threw a touchdown pass.
So he's just throwing that to Johnny Smith.
60-yard touchdown, first touchdown
to Johnny. Who knows?
But he made a hell of a catch.
He made a great catch. But Baker Mayfield stepped up against that blitz, threw it as he was getting drilled, and put it right down the middle.
Did you see the play where he fought off a sack and
the first? That was one of the greatest third down runs you'll ever see, America. But anyway, the point is,
I would say right now Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo are co-MVPs of the league. Just kidding.
Can we talk about the Patriots? Because that's the second time you veered me off. Look at the thing is this: they are in first place. I don't think anyone, including myself, thought that was going to be possible after 6 weeks. The reality is, the Buffalo Bills don't have a deep threat, and that's a problem. It's a big problem, and that's going to bode well for the Patriots because this quarterback, who is literally growing up before your eyes, is ahead of schedule. And Josh McDaniels deserves a lot of credit for this. He did it with Mac Jones. He's doing it again, and this kid is more talented than Mac Jones ever was. So the reality is, Drake May is playing at an MVP level, and their schedule doesn't get tougher; it gets easier. So there's a chance for them to really do something here. If, again, we talked about this, Tom, can they handle success? There were some calls, talk about some calls. The Saints game, I swear to God, it almost looked like the NFL wanted the Pats to lose that game based on some of the calls that I saw.
That was nuts.
This was nuts.
The Saints won a game yet?
They
beat the Giants.
They beat the Giants.
Oh,
the Giants had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that some of these calls looked like there was somebody else pulling the levers.
That was the only one I saw.
We can't have, there was more than one.
Yeah.
But the point is that the Patriots overcame all that, which tells me, this is the thing about them that's encouraging. When things go wrong, they can still win. Like, not everything has to go right for them to win. Things can go haywire, and they can still overcome it and win. That's a good sign. That's a sign of a well-coached team. By the way, Mike Vrabel, talk about on your A game as a coach Sunday. He was on it. He made a couple of challenges. Like, I didn't even see it. And then when I saw the replay, I still didn't get it. I'm like, wow. He saw it with the naked eye and knew what to do and threw the flag. He was literally.
They have a challenge team.
No, but the point is that he nailed every one of them, and he ultimately makes the call on this. So he saw the same thing. They didn't talk to him for very long.
No, they have somebody upstairs that goes.
No, every team has that. But the bottom line is, I've seen Belichick argue back and forth with those guys and ultimately either throw it or not throw it.
Wow.
Okay, Vrabel was like bang, bang, bang. But that's the point. That's what I love about Vrabel. He's not an arrogant son of a bitch.
Trust his people.
And right now, as things stand, he is the coach of the year. He is the coach of the year. Okay,
Yeah, especially if they win that division.
Because right now they have Tennessee coming up. They just fired their coach, by the way. Okay,
That guy was up for coach of the year.
Bulls could be up for coach of the year too. I mean,
they don't see a good team for 3 weeks, and that would be Tampa Bay. That could be if the Patriots win the next 3 games. That's going to be a very interesting.
Who are their next 3?
Tennessee. I want to say the Jets, and somebody else who sucks.
Another coach of the year candidate, Aaron Glenn.
So, yeah.
Holy shit!
Coach of the year to get fired.
dude, that's crazy.
All right, I don't want to change the subject yet.
Too late. So, just even when Brady was here, just focus on the next one and see what happens. If they're 5-2, next we'll have a different conversation. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
that's amazing.
It would be if they're 5-2. Well, look, I said if everything went right, they could be 12-5. Not everything has gone right, and they're in first place.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's theirs to lose because they have Buffalo later in the year at home. And if
Buffalo on the road really
that changed everything.
Yeah.
it changed everything.
Yeah.
it opened the door.
It opened the door.
This
And
could be a real fucking season.
They could be a real season. And I got to say, if the Patriots get a home playoff game, watch out. I'm just telling you that right now because that would be a madhouse. And that team, that franchise, that they would just. I'm saying they win a couple more. We'll have a different conversation. I'm not going to sit and jump the gun yet because I still need, to Tom's point, can they sustain this success? Can they beat the teams they're supposed to beat consistently? We're going to find that out in the next 3 weeks.
But also just, I mean, to beat Buffalo and then go to face the shit Saints.
And not let all that shit get in the way.
That's
win.
a good sign.
It is a good sign.
That's a good
Absolutely,
sign.
I agree. I'm saying that's what I'm encouraged about. Things haven't gone their way, and they've found ways to overcome it. The game down in Miami, a lot of things didn't go their way, and they found ways to overcome it. So what's neat about them, and this is a dangerous thing, a team that can win when things go wrong.
Yeah.
That's
I was a little
sign of a good
surprised
team.
it was that close. But the Saints are not as bad as they
The Saints
seem.
have been in a lot of
Their
games.
defense is pretty
Their
good.
defense is pretty good. They've got weapons, Olave and Kamara.
We were talking
And we said
about
Rattler's
Rattler.
not a bum.
If you look at his numbers,
He's not a bum.
He's been playing
He's
good.
played well. He's not a bum. He's not the bum I thought he was. And I said last
we
week.
would always joke about
Well,
it.
we said tonight, I gave him his flowers. I said, look, I've been rough on this kid. He's not a scrub.
Yeah.
And he didn't play like a scrub
Remember, we
Saturday.
looked him up in college. He played in what, the Big Ten,
And then he
SEC.
played at South Carolina, the Gamecocks. He was a Coxman.
Yeah, and he played at Oklahoma.
Coxman.
Yeah.
No, they're the Gamecocks.
I know that.
Coxman.
The Coxman.
You call them the Coxmen?
No, the Gamecocks, but it's never.
They actually call him the Cox, but
Cox.
that's all it is, whatever.
Coxman. It's Coxman. Anyway, before we take the break, the Jets blow.
Yeah, no. Can't we talk about that a little bit?
Not really, because we're up on the 40-minute marker. I'm trying to keep these below 40. But if you want to come back and say
Why?
because if people find why they're not going to watch something that's 45, 50 minutes.
What about the Jets?
People-
Especially if it ends
But
with
you're
the
a Giants
Jets.
fan.
People watching?
His dad's a Jets fan. Yeah, who gives a fuck about the Jets? Eh?
Dude, it's just talk. It's sports talk.
The Jets suck. That's what you need
No,
to know.
did you guys watch any of that?
Yes,
game?
it was awful.
Oh, it's awful. I turned it on and watched about
Brees
10
Hall may
minutes
be a
of it.
Patriot by the end of the month.
You don't want him.
Yes, I do.
No.
Yes, I do.
No.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
Oh, he's the problem. I doubt it.
I didn't say he's the problem, but man,
Yeah,
way
because
better than
Stevenson
he's
ain't doing
showing.
nothing.
He's way better than he's shown.
Except for that one game where he had 2 touchdowns.
dude, I don't understand how
We lost Gibson. We
the
know running-
Broncos
Yeah.
only scored 13. How did the Broncos almost? The Broncos
I think
downright
it
should have lost
has a
that
lot to
game.
do with going overseas. You're just in a foreign environment. You
Oh,
know?
you're also playing an 0-5 team who you don't think very much of.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
that.
that's
too.
true.
Yeah.
And the Jets still have a pretty good defense. They've got talent on that side.
Oh yeah.
They look terrible.
Dude, people have been shitting on that defense all year.
But they have talent in a lot of places.
They have
You know what I
talent.
mean? That's the problem. It's
They
so
just haven't
Well,
put it
no,
all
but
together.
Quincy Williams is out. But he's probably, I think he's their best defender.
Denver doesn't
Well,
have.
Sauce has gotta be
look,
their best
to
defender,
be
right?
to be
Sauce
fair
Gardner.
here,
He's
Sauce
their
Gardner.
biggest name. He's
Biggest
not their
name.
best defender.
Okay.
Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams, the two brothers, they're their best defenders.
Okay.
Well, the point is, Sauce Gardner is a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, whether he's the best defender or not. He is. And two, Denver doesn't have what I would call a prolific offense. It wasn't like they were dropping 30 on people. They weren't.
Yeah.
They won games by low scores. They weren't really blowing anybody out. So
Well, they
like,
beat
I don't know
Philly
if
by
they beat Philly 20. What was it? 27 to something.
27. That's
27, but they don't break 30 a lot.
Yeah. Miami scores 27 every week.
Yeah,
loses
and they
two,
loses
so.
every game.
good. They have a good offense.
They
Denver
do.
has
They
a
do.
better here's what Denver has. Denver has an elite defense.
But,
that is what Denver
dude,
has. They sacked him 9 times.
Yeah, but that was
9.
because he was frozen stiff.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I mean,
you get hit 3 or 4 times
Boomer
like
Esiason
that.
was talking about it, and he was like, but the thing was, it wasn't because of the line. They did the stat. I think he was like, I don't know. It was top 5 in terms of how much time he was getting to throw, and he just wouldn't throw the ball. He would
Well-
go back there and be like this,
Wait.
and then just take. And with a guy like that who can run, how is he not just taking off?
Wetness.
Just fucking run.
Tough to run with wet diaper.
And then at the end of the first half, did y'all see